Samuel was.
Well, okay, I just want to make sure either one or the other is on. Who is this XT 185 629 bracket 0? Everything's a bracket and a 0.
If it's one of our guests of potential new members, whether it's Alberto Angulo or Jeremiah Cotner, state your name.
If we know you're here, please, because you're on the agenda. You're on the agenda.
Oh, Albert's on. Yay, Albert. Yay. Albert's on. He's checking us out, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Hi, Albert.
So who is this mystery person here? No, he's still there.
I don't know.
1585 is actually a cell phone model.
Who it is?
Probably somebody that's connected on a cell phone that just never.
Somebody's calling in on the phone.
Could that be Jeremiah?
Next week.
Jeremiah, are you on a cell phone?
Arlene. I think it's Arlene.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Could be a Kiwanis.
There it is.
I'll rename it.
And there she is.
you guys don't know. Hi,
Hello.
Hi, Arlene.
I was being incognito.
There's pretty Arlene.
Hi, Jerry.
Yeah, okay.
Alberto, this is the time we're doing
Welcome.
a little bit of social networking here. A little bit of fellowship, and we'll
Good
be
to see
starting
you
very
again this
soon.
week.
Hi, everyone. Anna.
Hi, how are
See you
you?
again.
Good,
Hey,
thank
TJ,
you.
welcome back.
Hey, one more week, right? Yes.
For what?
Hopefully, so we can get together, right? Next week or?
No,
Hey, Andy.
no, I have an update on that.
Okay, sorry.
A slight update on it.
Jim Tucker, what's your background behind you? Oh, unmute.
Scuba, probably of some kind. He's a scuba guy.
Jim, unmute.
Yeah, it's a scuba. It's an aquarium, right?
I
Yeah,
can't,
that's what it looks like.
No,
it's a person behind him.
it's a coral reef.
There we are.
There you go.
It's a
Is
coral
that you?
reef.
That's Fiji.
Fiji, yeah, nice.
Boy,
I've been diving most everywhere but Fiji.
That was called E6.
well, not me. I don't
Hey,
know how to-
Gwen Hall, you need to move your camera down. We can only see the top of your head.
Hi, Jerry.
Being like this.
I show off her hairdo.
And Randy, you're still here. Yay.
Okay, Captain, get ready here, please.
We're live on Facebook.
On Facebook, cool. Host disabled attendee screen sharing. You better open me up, Captain. Still can't share.
Try now.
Kirk is still staying on top of the Dunes Hotel, huh? In a picture.
Wow.
Okay, will you mute everyone, please?
Yep.
Thank you. Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. Rotary International President Mark Daniel Maloney's theme for this year asks us Rotarians to strengthen the many ways that Rotary connects the world, building connections that allow talented, thoughtful, and generous people to unite and take meaningful action through Rotary service. Our club demonstrates every day how we are living President Maloney's mission through unity, connections, and action. My name is Jacqueline Thornhill, and even in these very challenging times, I am honored to serve as the 97th president of the greatest Rotary Club in the world. Thank you for participating in our Facebook live stream or on Zoom. Today we're celebrating Memorial Day and we have a very nice program planned for you. I'd like to give you some Memorial Day facts. Multiple cities claim to be the birthplace of Memorial Day. It was originally called Decoration Day. Union General John A. Logan founded the holiday. Memorial Day wasn't celebrated on the last Monday in May until relatively recently. It is customary for the US president or vice president to give a speech. Originally, only soldiers who died in the Civil War were honored. And our quote of the day comes from President John F. Kennedy. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. Our invocation today will be led by Steve Linder. Please open up his mic.
Should be unmuted now. Today, the invocation and the song are the same. And what I'm going to read the words so you can understand them better when you hear the song. The invocation is the Navy hymn. There are many verses to this hymn, and I'm going to read the original verse, which was dedicated to the Navy, and the second verse, which is dedicated to the Marine Corps. Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath bound the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. O hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea. In the second verse for the Marine Corps, Eternal Father, grant we pray to all Marines both night and day, the courage, honor, strength, and skill, their land to serve, thy law fulfill. Be thou the shield forevermore from every peril to the core. And also today we have, if we were at Lowry's, we would have the table set up in front of the room, but we have the missing man table here virtually. You can see a picture of it that we would have set up at Lowry's, and I'm going to explain each item on the table. It's a small table set for one, which symbolizes the vulnerability of a lone prisoner against his captors. There's a white tablecloth that symbolizes the purity of intention in responding to the call of duty. There's an empty chair to remind us that they cannot be with us today. There's an inverted wine glass to symbolize they cannot toast with us today. There's a slice of lemon to remind us of their bitter fate, and grains of salt to symbolize the countless tears of the families. There's a single red rose to remind us of the loved ones who keep the faith awaiting their return, and a burning yellow candle and a yellow ribbon to symbolize the everlasting hope of a reunion with the missing. Never forget those who died for our freedom. Make sure their sacrifice is not in vain. Now we can move to the song, President Jackie. This is the Naval Academy Glee Club. Stu, we're having the audio problems. It's not coming through very well. Jackie, did you turn off your?
Go for that just yet.
So you had to do the original music off?
Yeah, I had that. Still can't hear it very well. For another special treat for you, please turn the microphone over to Ted McAdam.
Thanks, Steve, for the invocation in the song. Even though it didn't come through as clearly as we had hoped, it still is an incredible message. And thanks for the explanation of the missing man table. Jackie, thank you for giving me the privilege of making a few comments relative to the many about our many service members who've served our nation throughout our history, and many of whom have paid the ultimate price in so doing. And I'm proud to say that there are members of the U.S. military retired who are members of our club. Saturday, May 16th, was Armed Forces Day, a commemoration that dates back to 1950, and it's a day designed to thank all those currently serving in the U.S. military. Those are active duty and National Guard. Last Monday, May 25th, was Memorial Day, as Jackie has so eloquently reminded us. It goes back a long, long time, and it's just a day designed to give thanks for the many thousands who have died in combat operations in defense of our nation and our way of life. And incidentally, that total is well over 1 million soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen. In honor of the men and women who have and are currently serving our nation, please enjoy this special tribute performed by Judith Pinkerton, a medley of 4 major service songs. Unmute Judith, please.
Thank you, Ted. It's my pleasure.
very much, Judith. Appreciate it. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is our, as we're getting toward the end of my year, this is what it's looking like. And more on that a little bit later. Okay, our Sergeant at Arms today, of course, is Kirk Holmes, and he's already been acting in that capacity. We do have some guests today, so please open up the mic for Tony Kern.
Yep.
There we go.
There you go.
Thank you, President Jackie. I think our first guest, Inga Almquist, may have gotten kicked off because she was having some phone and internet issues at her home, but she was on previously. She is going to be a new member waiting to be inducted. And by way of a little background, it's appropriate for today. She is with the U.S. Air Force at Creech, and she's a first lieutenant, and I believe, oh, there she is, Inga.
Back.
You're back. So Inga will be inducted shortly. She is a first lieutenant. Is that correct, Inga?
Yep.
And you're a pilot?
Yep.
All right. And she just came back from a extended TDY. So welcome, and we look forward to having you very soon to be inducted.
Welcome, Inga.
Forward to it.
The next guest we have is Alberto Angulo. He is an RI lead. He has expressed an interest, and we've had an opportunity to interview him, and he's checking us out. Alberto's quite interesting. He is an ELS teacher working for the library district in the adult education department. And I don't see, where is Alberto on here now? I think he's here somewhere. And just so that you all know, he attended cigar socials with his father when he was a child in northern Mexico. His father was a Rotary member. So hopefully he will continue on with us and join us, and he'll be able to join the cigar socials that we have. The last guest, I'm not sure if he was able to sign on, is Jeremiah Kotner. Are you on anywhere? I guess not. He's also an RI lead. He has expressed an interest, and he was going to be checking us out. So thank you, President Jackie.
Thank you, Tony, for the excellent work that your membership committee has been doing.
Thank you.
Introduction of our virtual head table. Dr. Arnold Stock is our speaker today, and I've heard him speak before. He's marvelous. He'll be more deeply introduced later on. I'd like to thank the Rotarians who helped out today. Our invocation by Steve Linder, our song by Ted McAdams, Steve Linder, and Judith Pinkerton. Sergeant at Arms, always Kirk Holmes. Our scribe today is Chase Carter, and all things technical, Kirk Holmes and Stu Lipoff. My announcements today, People of Action campaign. It's still going on, everyone, so please send me some photos of things that you're doing. If you're out there and you think it would be relevant, I'd be happy to feature you in the wheel and on Facebook as well. Remember about your monthly and quarterly contributions to our local foundation is what helps fund our projects. And please consider donating to the endowment fund to keep our club legacy alive and going. Lowry's is preparing to open. I've been in communication with Ed and Michelle, and Lowry's is not officially opening its doors for the restaurant until the 12th. So we would not be able to meet prior to then, but there is the possibility that we will meet there on the 18th. They're working on that for us. We're going to be doing a table layout, and they have some very specific mandatory protocols that I will pass on regarding the meeting. As soon as we have a full confirmation on that, I will get that out to you as soon as possible. But we may be able to make preparations for that day and end our year with a live meeting, which would be wonderful. More on that when I get it. Also, we have other events, live events scheduled in the month of June. So this is an opportunity to go to the virtual Green Book. You've all received it in a link. You can also scan the QR code in the wheel, and there are things for you to sign up. We have a few events that we'll be announcing a little later. So if you want to participate, then go ahead and RSVP, because all of our events will require RSVPs. Virtual Craft Talk. I've got a couple of more, 2 or 3 more wheels that will be basically based on virtual contact. So if you want to highlight your business, I need 250 words maximum. I need a picture of you and your logo if you can. I'd be happy to highlight you in an upcoming wheel. Okay, let's move on to announcements now. Please turn the microphone over to Tony Kern, please, about our upcoming membership orientation.
Connie, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okie dokie. Thanks again, President Jackie. Everyone should have received, I hope, the email from Sean. The first live orientation is presently scheduled for June 16th, 6 p.m. at Jerry Ingles' home. We want to make it very clear that you are not required to attend. We would like whatever people that are comfortable attending to do so. All the appropriate protocols consistent with what has been sent out from phase 2 will be met to the extent possible. And we are hoping to have 3 new members at orientation, including Inga if we get her inducted in time. And it should be a very nice time for our first live orientation.
Thank you, Tony. Please turn the microphone over to President-elect Richard Jost for a few announcements here. Unmute, Richard. There you go.
Here we go. Again, I think you should have received another email reminder from Sean if you have not already turned in your pledge form or your committee assignment form. Just a reminder to highlight what Sean highlighted already in her most recent email. If you don't turn in the pledge form, our club assumes you want to do the suggested amount of pledges and you will be billed for that each month. So if the suggested amounts of the voluntary contributions are not what you have in mind, if you want to contribute more, please send back your pledge form indicating how much more than the suggested amount you would like to pledge. And I know some people in the past have indicated lower amounts, which is certainly understandable given the current financial situation many people are finding themselves in. And we would ask if you are going to reduce your amounts from the suggested amounts that you consider something more than 0 for each of those amounts, even if it's less than the suggested amount. The only other thing I wanted to highlight was I think everyone has received an invitation from the district 5300 to participate in the club assembly, the district assembly, excuse me, this year, which is being done virtually. Some members did have some problems opening the link that was sent by the district, and Sean has now received from the district a secondary link that if you had trouble getting on there and registering for any of the club assembly virtual sessions that you were interested in, there's another link that you can use to go ahead and do that. Again, anyone who's on the board of directors most definitely should participate in the club assembly, and anyone else who's interested in knowing what happens behind the curtain should feel free to register for any of the sessions that they would find informative to them. Thank you.
Thank you, President-elect Richard. Is either Jerry Senes or David Squire on today? Okay, just want to remind you that the highway cleanup is on June 20th. That is one of our live events coming up next month. Please RSVP. Jerry has confirmed that he will provide brunch at his home afterwards, just as he has every other time. And we will be following protocols to the extent that we possibly can. But that particular brunch will require an RSVP. So please go on to RSVP to Sean or go on to the virtual clipboard so that we can clean up our section of highway out there. Is Melanie Muldowney on today? Okay, just reminding that the foundation matching points is still going on. And apparently the company that provides the recognition is back in business because we received a few. So we're hoping that we can get all of those awarded. If we do have the live meeting on the 18th or so far. So you still have an opportunity to get involved in the foundation match. That's 50% up to $500 if you'd like to get an initial Paul Harris or increase the level. Please contact either Melanie or Sean to determine how much is required for you to step up or get involved. Okay, please turn the microphone over to past President Jim Cole, please.
Hi, everybody. In another one of our soon-to-be live meetings, we're meeting on the 25th for Jackie's debunking. And we got a special mask for Jackie. It's a scuba mask. She'll be using it. And we hope you all can attend. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have it at Rose Falaco's house. And it's going to be a great time to catch up with everybody and just have a blast and celebrate all of Jackie's great accomplishments for this year.
Hey, thank you, Jim. Please turn the microphone over to past President Karen Wisenhunt for a special announcement.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm sad to report the passing of one of Rotary's great leaders, Frank Devlin, past president of Rotary International 2000-2001. Frank was 81 years old and died yesterday in Mexico City after a long battle with cancer. He's survived by his wife, Gloria Rita, and 3 daughters. Frank spent several years with Rotary International in the foundation leadership. As a president of Rotary International, he traveled the world and met many wonderful leaders, presidents, and yes, even the Pope. Frank was a great friend of the Las Vegas Rotary Club. One memory I have of Frank happened years ago. At dinner 3 days in a row, I got an out-of-call telephone solicitor call, or so I thought. After the 4th day, Tom said, you know, you really should answer that call. So I did. So when I answered the call, I heard this Frank Devlin here. Well, I just about fell off my chair. And it's not every day that a president of Rotary International calls you. It's basically like having for the Catholics, having the Pope call you. We chatted for a little while, and he asked me to set up a booth at a secured convention at Rotary for the Rotary Action Group of Blindness Prevention. Asked Rotarians to help man the booth and to pick him up at the airport. And that was the extent of the instructions. We had met Frank briefly years ago, so I knew what he looked like, and he stood out like a sore thumb. He was the tallest Hispanic person I've ever seen. From there, we went off to the Venetian. RI president or not, he's still a Rotarian. So I put his butt to work and had him hauling tables and boxes throughout the convention center. With no idea what Frank was trying to accomplish in short notice, the first year we had TV trays wrapped in material and some small brochures promoting Las Vegas Rotary Club. Fortunately, Frank also brought some books and made the booth look presentable. Rotarians from our club in Southern Nevada helped to man the booth. Throughout the week, Frank's goal became apparent. He was trying to teach Rotarians to think outside the box and find new ways of promoting the great works of Rotary. This convention was an optical related one, but Rotary could promote anything at any event. The years that followed included a professional designed booth and carpet that lived in my garage for several years. What also followed was guests at my house, including people I'd never met, and Frank's wonderful brother, Patrick. On the second year, Ambassador Scholar Michael Gordon arrived and was greeted by Rotary International President, which doesn't happen every day. One thing I will never forget is being in an elevator with Frank. He perfected the elevator talk. He stood out because of his height and never, not once, missed an opportunity to talk. Whoever was in the elevator would hear, "How you all doing today?" He also asked if they were a Rotarian or not, and if not, why not? By the time the elevator door would open, complete strangers had been introduced to Rotary. Frank talked a lot. In fact, he published a lot of books, fictional, but always related to Rotary. His first book was called Frank Talk, with a storyline about joining Rotary. The second book, at his wife's advice, was called Frank Talks Too Much. He wrote several other books through the years and all related to Rotary. Rest in peace, Frank, our friend, our leader. I know your next book will be Frank Talks in Heaven. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Karen. That was lovely. Please give the microphone over to past President Michael Gordon, please.
Yes.
Are you there, past President Michael Gordon?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I saw something on LinkedIn about you. What was that about?
It's actually pretty funny. It's a job that I got in January, but only recently, so it's not recent news.
But
Hello?
it's at least it's not recent news, but that's the first time I've seen it on. And in other words, you're gone back to work. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, unfortunately, I'm a tax-paying citizen, or is that fortunately?
Oh, and you were also a fine-paying Rotarian too. It will cost you $97 to the permanent fund of the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay, let's turn the microphone over to Dr. Andy Kuniyuki to introduce our speaker.
Now, we are pretty fortunate that we have people who are willing to step up under these types of venues to share with us what they are going to have in their presentations. And so today, let me pull up my own, it disappeared.
Are you finished, Andy?
I am pulling up my file.
Okay. Mr. Stock, Dr. Stock, you had some difficulties. Are you on with us?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, Andy's still introducing. Okay, you ready, Andy?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go
We
ahead.
can hear you, Arnie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize. I have I don't know if you can see me, but I don't believe you can. And I've had a lot of trouble just getting to this point on. So if you can hear me, I'd be glad to do just the audio, but I cannot get my image on there.
Okay, well, we can hear you, Dr. Stock, so we're all anxious to
Okay.
hear from you, so go on ahead.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really honored to come and speak. this world has changed, as you know, as you well know, everybody knows overnight. And not only has it changed, I believe it's going to be fine. So I always like to start out with that premise. It's just nothing any of us expected. And is 5 minutes okay? What I'm saying, I'm very conscious of your time.
Yeah, you've got, I'll give you the flag. We'll give you the flag when we need to give you the cane.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know how many folks are on it. It really doesn't matter. If one's on, that's a lot to me, because I founded Veterans Village in honor of my father, Seymour Stock, who was a World War II veteran. For those of you that know me or have heard my story, my base story hasn't changed, but the organization has changed radically. And so he was one of the greatest generations that ever was, and I believe ever will be in this world. It's hard for me to talk about him, so I won't stay there too long because it's very emotional for me, and it's all good emotions. My dad was just an amazing person, and our country is filled today with a lot of amazing people. My mom was a dance hostess in the USO canteen in Columbus, Ohio, and they taught me a lot of things. One of which was always give back, because it always comes back to you. And so I started out briefly. I started out in Los Angeles, Southern California. And my degree is actually in architecture and urban design, but I got involved with the VISTA program, which is a domestic Peace Corps. And I started doing projects under the supervision of architects of putting facilities up in the public interest. And then that led me into my exploration of affordable housing. And we started Nonprofit Housing Corporation, and that spread all across Southern California. And I came to Las Vegas, which is one of the best things I've ever done in my life, 1993. And I was a housing director in the Jan Jones administration for the city of Las Vegas. And I've really met some fantastic people over the years. And none of the way we as a community are responding today surprises me. We are a very resilient community. We're very misunderstood society, if you want to call it that. A lot of it is our own doing with our promotion of Sin City and that kind of thing. But those of you who lived here for 5 minutes know that this community is made up of some amazingly wonderful people. So fast forward to 9 years ago, I can't believe it, I started a project called Veterans Village. Many people in your organization have helped me, including your organization over the years, have helped me. It is a ultra grassroots organization, is what I call. We are the roots of the grassroots. And we started in an old motel on the Strip, which I just left a little bit ago. Still there. We house now over 700 people a night on 5 campuses. And it is a housing system which allows people to go from the very, very toughest point in their life, which we call homelessness, to self-sufficiency. And we, like I said, we're on 5 campuses, and we now we're open. The whole premise was we'd be open 24/7, 365. No one would ever be refused service, and that is true. What was true 9 years ago is true today. No one who ever needs help is turned away from our facility. If we can't help them, we'll find another nonprofit or another for-profit that can help them. Our business model is based on contributions in kind and financial contributions from the private sector. We have no grants. The only grant that is anywhere in our developments, our housing, is when our veterans carry what is called a VA HUD voucher, which is a fancy term for the old Section 8 rental subsidy program, in which our residents pay 25% of their income to rent. And over the years, we've always helped everyone, but we really branched out because homelessness, I believe, is the root of most of our problems, of our infrastructure problems in this valley. And so we started helping a lot of other people And today we are the innkeeper, is what I call us. We provide the housing, we provide security, we provide an incredible amount of high quality foods that I'll get to that in a second. And it's all independent living. It is not a shelter. There are no meals programs. There's no dining hall. It is all based on independent living and strength. And so when this pandemic hit, now almost 2 months ago, maybe a little more, our world had changed radically overnight. We were doing 14 food pantries a week, and now we do 14, 2 a day. One in the morning, which is I call our Starbucks pantry, where we pick up food product. We have 6 vans. We pick up food product from 77 Starbucks a night, and come back at 2 a.m. in the morning and stock our refrigerators for our residents and for the community. So that 8 to 9 a.m. is our Starbucks pantry, and 10 a.m. to 12 noon is our grocery pantry. We are a 3-square provider. Food Share is part of Feeding America, is part of our partnership, and we serve food from Starbucks, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Winco, Smith's, Albertsons, Bonds, Big Box Donuts, Einstein's, Bagels, and a whole host of other food producers and restaurants that supply us with food. We also have just started supplying, we did it before, but we really stepped things up, supplying the VA healthcare system, door-to-door meals, where VA caseworkers and social workers bring food to our veterans that are shut-ins, Help of Southern Nevada, U.S. Vets, Salvation Army, the Care Complex, lots of Salvation Army apartments, and also Freedom House Sober Living. So why am I saying all this? Why I'm saying all this is because anybody that needs help can get help from us, and we have swung immediately overnight from a housing facility that houses people with special needs to a regional hub. One of our big partners is Central Church, and we just released our 9-year anniversary totals are staggering to me. Bottles of water distributed, 2,275,000 bottles, 6,450,000 pounds of food. We have housed, this is, I'm an emotional guy. Please forgive me. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, but we've housed almost 14,000 veterans that we've taken off the street in 9 years. And we're very proud of that. We're just starting to get our numbers together for the other populations that we've housed. And so you get the idea, I think, that we want to grow. We want to end homelessness. I don't think there's any reason we should tolerate that. Now, this whole coronavirus has really, really rocked our valley and our world, but we've stepped up. And so our food distribution is over 500% higher than it was on March 17th. And we're a resource for jobs, food, clothing, housing. We have a medical partnership with Anthem and Blue Cross, and we get a lot of support from hotels. And when I say support, I mean in-kind, a lot of in-kind support, not just cash. Paint, carpenters, carpet, all sorts of stuff to keep our facilities up. That's sort of us in a nutshell. We also opened 10 of our ocean container homes about 2 weeks before this whole thing happened. And we're just finishing getting our final approvals, and we're going to start renting them out. They're converted ocean containers into housing. Please come out and visit us. Our main campus, I call it our hub, is at 15 North 21st Street. And it is a hopping place, always. And we're very grateful to be of service. Your organization is off the charts with service. It's always, I always think that our society, when I get caught up in the moment, our society moves real fast. When I think of your organization, you definitely do God's work, and thank you for it. I'll be glad to answer any questions. I try not to download too much in too short a time, but thank you for listening to me.
Thanks, Arnie. Kirk here, and I've got several questions for you.
Hi, Kirk.
Good to hear you. Our first one is, how many facilities in the Veterans Village organization, and how many are in the planning stages?
First of all, it's really good to hear your voice. We've opened 5 facilities, which includes emergency housing. These are at separate sites. Transitional housing, assisted living, and also scattered site rental housing. And so they total 5. And before this hit, and before the world before the plug was taken out, we had 90 units in development, all within an area of near Fremont and Eastern in downtown. We're not restricted to that area by any stretch of the imagination, but the only thing that restricts us a lot is funding, of course. Housing is expensive, and it's hard to acquire and go through the whole process.
All right, great. Next question is, do veterans just show up, or are they referred, or both?
Well, there's a really good network of communication with veterans in the Valley. People find us on the internet. The CRRC, which is the Community Regional Center with the VA, is right over on Eastern near Lamb, and right near the 95 and Eastern. Excuse me, right near the 95 in East Charleston, and we work with them consistently. So it's not hard for a vet to find us.
All right. And then, do you work with bases in the area for referrals?
Do we do with what?
Work with the bases in the area for referrals.
We work with the bases, but not on referrals to housing, only because we haven't had calls from them. We do reach out to them, but we haven't had calls from them. Our facilities are 100% full. We do work a lot with U.S. Vets, Salvation Army, Help USA, and other agencies that help veterans. And since we've branched out into helping families and women with children, we work with a lot of other agencies too, federal, local, and state. We don't have the housing inventory. We don't have the inventory here to even scratch the surface with solving the problem of the lack of affordable housing. We just don't have it.
So you mentioned that you provide services, do you only provide services to veterans or anyone in need?
It's anybody in need. And if we don't have room, which is often the case, we work with other agencies to find housing for people. It's a very difficult daily triage puzzle to solve.
Got it.
Very, very difficult.
So, are you expanding to other cities?
Well, it's all Kurt. It's all a function of money. When the government went and spent, when Congress went and allocated, I lost track how many trillions of dollars that they found, and rightfully so quick. I don't think any of it is for housing. I don't think, and I might be real wrong, I don't think any of it is for housing. So I'd love to expand this program. The model has been designed so it can expand, but it's a function of money. It's a subject nobody wants to talk about.
So the next great question coming in is, what is your most pressing need today?
Most pressing need today is bottles of water. It is currently 106 where I am. There's lots of people that are hurting out there, and dehydration is a problem, is a huge problem. And because our pantries got so big overnight, excuse me, non-perishable food items are extremely. When I ask for things, I ask for things that I think, depending who I'm speaking to, whether they're able of doing that. And so non-perishable food items are a big deal to us.
So this kind of ties into that last question. What kind of things can individuals do or projects, things that individuals could volunteer for? Can we bring food down to one of your facilities, non-perishable food, water, etc.? How can individuals get more involved?
We're open 24/7, 365. If somebody wants to bring non-perishable food that's in a sealed container, or a case of water is $5 or $6, that's a very nice donation for us. And if they want to get involved with some service, our pantry's open every single day now, twice a day, including Sundays. We are open 14 pantries a day. Right now, because of this pandemic hit, the volunteers that are showing up every day are they're getting tired, and so we're looking for some reserve to fill in, and those are two things that could help us. If somebody wants to help in a rehab job.
Great. Another question. What's the estimated population of veterans in Las Vegas that's experiencing homelessness?
Well, that is a numbers game that our government likes to play. And I don't get involved in the numbers game because I will tell you what we see. They have every twice a year, I think it is, because it's government funded driven. Please believe me, I am not anti-government, but that when I say the government, that's what I mean. They get in a car, they go out and they say, "Are you homeless?" And they do a survey, and they have a little designer coffee, and then they're sitting around, they figure out, they come up with some numbers. That's not an accurate survey. I firmly believe that the homeless veteran population is a minimum of 10 to 12,000 vets that are homeless or are living in substandard, overcrowded housing, living in their cars, garage, storm drains in the hills. It's just, it's a number. One is an unacceptable number, but a number like that is not acceptable for our veterans or anybody.
So to kind of follow up to that, what are you finding that makes veterans especially at risk of homelessness?
Lack of affordable housing, lack of taking care of themselves, their health, just a myriad of social issues that veterans, and I'm generalizing, but it's generally true. Lack of good quality medical service. They can stand up, they can go and stand on their head until whatever happens and say that things have improved in our healthcare system for our veterans. I can attest to you that they have not. That our veterans really struggle with a lot of things, a lot of stigmas. And that one veterans home there was just tons of people that died due to neglect back east when this virus hit. News things that are swept under the carpet. So we got to do a better job taking care of our own vets and those that have protected us, and continue to do so.
This next one actually comes from Karen Wisenhunt. She says, "Thank you, Arnie. Just so all of you know, Veterans Village has been the recipient of several wheelchairs from the Las Vegas Rotary Club and several deliveries of personal products collected by the family of Rotary, and that we have more wheelchairs available to you, Arnie, if you need them."
Absolutely.
That's all that one.
I do want to make it clear that we don't, we never did, but if somebody's in need of a wheelchair, we make sure that they get one. And that gets to the whole thing, what is a veteran? I talked to a lot over the years, a lot of vets. Well, she's a veteran spouse, she's not a veteran. Well, you know what? People that are spouses are vets to us, people that grew up as military brats, we're all one family. And then there's folks that have no connection to the service. If somebody comes into our facility and they need a wheelchair to get around, they're going to get one. So we don't just restrict it to distributing to vets.
Another question, is veteran suicide still a big problem? And do you think or has it increased during the pandemic?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer if it's increased. I know it's still a significant issue. I don't really speak specifically on suicide because that is definitely an expertise And I can tell you, direct you to some people here that have expertises in that area, that are vets, that are VSOs, Veteran Service Organization, people that are qualified to talk on that issue. I'm not one of them. If somebody tells us and discloses one of our residents that they're feeling suicidal, we definitely have places to get them to quickly, and not an appointment to come back 2 weeks later. So it is a big problem.
Awesome. I think that was the last question we had come in.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Jackie, back to you.
Hi, Arnold. It's Jackie Thornhill, the president of the club. I just wanted to.
Hi,
thank
Jackie.
you. Hi. I met you some time ago
Yeah.
at some of the other
Yeah.
meetings, just when you were first starting.
Right.
I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
thank you very much for what you're doing and how fast, it's amazing at how fast your network has expanded. In fact, in this week's wheel, make sure you get a copy of it. I put that little graphic that you put out that shows all the things that you have accomplished over the last
Thank you.
9 years, because I wanted everyone to see just how amazing your work has been, you and all the people you work with and all your volunteers. And I also
Thank
want
you,
to let you
thank
know
you.
I dropped off a bunch of masks last month too for you
Oh, God
volunteers
bless
to
you.
use at your food pantry to help keep them safe as well as the clients.
That is
So
so awesome. God bless you. Those are very, as you know, very, very badly needed. And if anybody in your family, in your organization's family, or in the world in general need help, can I leave my number for them to call?
absolutely.
Okay, it is 702-624-5792, or visit us. This will get a very quick answer. It's sharelasvegas.org, SHARE lasvegas.org.
Okay, we'll send that out to everyone and make sure the rest of our membership that wasn't able to attend today will have your
Thank you.
information.
Thank
And
you.
I also wanted to say, and I know exactly how you feel about the greatest generation. My father was also a World War II veteran, served
Yeah.
in the Navy for 2 years. And so I kind of get a little teary-eyed about it myself. So I totally appreciate that.
Thank you. I know. And one last thing, if I can, I know what my dad would say to me today about getting back and coming back. He'd say, you know what? You get up in the morning, you say your prayers, and you get to work. And I think that if we have that psyche, and that's what I think a lot of Las Vegans are like that. So I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you all very much, and I love each and every one of you.
We love you too. Thank you again.
Okay, take care.
Thank you all. Have a great week. And as soon as I have something for you, I'll let you know. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.